So this is a test. This is a test because I just recorded 30 minutes of me talking and I didn't have the mic turned on. Uh-huh. Yeah, that's how we do it. Welcome to OK What Podcast, the world's least qualified support group and a popcorn pour production. I am Candice, your OK What host, and it's time to get chit-chatty. Hello. Welcome. This episode today, I think, will be a little bit different. For so many reasons. A, we've just rebranded. We are now OK What, and that came from Mental Chillness Club, which was a fucking cool name, by the way. But someone else had it, and one day maybe this podcast might go somewhere, and I would hate to go on a bricks and minifigs legal battle with someone over a name. So I named it OK What. And it was hard to make a name because there are so many podcasts now with such great names. But I think OK What's good because every fucking day there's something that makes me go, OK, what? And today, what made me go, OK, what? Was how I felt when I woke up. That's how it made me feel. I kind of woke up feeling like just flat. I think, do you know when you wake up and you're feeling like 60% of yourself, maybe even 40% of yourself, or like just completely fucking zombified? Like you're like, where did I go? And you're kind of just walking around like that. Nothing's really funny. Everything's kind of flat. Everything's you don't want to do the dishes. You don't want to eat on your diet. You don't want to fricking do your work. Doom scrolling's fine, but even that you don't feel like fucking doing. That's how I felt today. And it's not major. It's not like a major depressive episode or, it's not major fuck the world's coming crashing down. It's just flat. And so I figured today I'd talk about being flat. I had actually prepared another episode and it was all about poop. And I mean, it's funny. It is funny. On a regular day, it was really funny. But then today, I just didn't feel like it. I didn't feel like talking about poop. But don't you worry, because you will be blessed later on with an episode about poop. And it's not about it. It's not about the stuff. Oh my God. It's about what it can do for you creatively. Or more so to the point, it's about what my mum used to say. All the best creative ideas come from when you are sitting on the loo. Anyway, but we're not talking about that today. No. We are talking about feeling flat. And maybe even a bit of burnout mixed in there, because these are very valid or very relative points to kind of who I am and how I'm feeling today and recently. So, welcome to flat. So where does flatness come from? I don't know where your flatness comes from. I'm sure you would know where your flatness comes from more than I would, but my flatness comes from a special type of burnout. And I've been quite burnt out now, I'd say, for about a month. I've been working at about 50% capacity. So, usually I can hammer it. This month I've taken on about just 50% of the workload, and I'm pretty happy with that. 50% of the paycheck, but that's okay because I do factor this into my life. I experience creative burnout, and I know that that's a part of my process. I know that every now and then I'll go through a little bit of a burnout phase where I just need to take a break, take the foot off the gas, nibble a few Tim Tams, which I can now because I just found that they have them at Costco. And I've never really shopped at Costco before, but now we've got a Costco nearby and a Costco card, and that bitch is crazy. That you can buy like electric vehicles there. Okay, maybe not vehicles. What do you call them? Scooters and TVs and Apple shit, and get your eyes checked there. Oh my God. What is the movie? It's Idiocracy. And, and they're like, oh my God, I'm joking. Okay, I'm back. Welcome to Costco. I love you. And there's a train inside. Fucking Costco needs a train. I'm surprised it doesn't have one. And yes, anyway, I got some Tim Tams. That was a segue into nothing because I'm going straight back to where I was. So Yes, I know that I experienced creative burnout with my career. I've been a creative now for 10 years and you just push so hard. Well, this is what I figure. This is what I figure. With being a creative, your job is like an extension of your personality, right? Because you problem solve creatively. Everything that I do is creative in essence. I won't just go for a hike. I'll end up hiking and telling some fucking ridiculous creative story along the way. And my husband's like, the fuck do you get the energy to be talking the smack from? Well, I don't have energy. I think it's actually me just trying to pull attention off the fact that I'm dying because I fucking hate hiking. And so being creative is now my career as well. So I get these problems from these corporations or businesses or whomever. Recently I just spoke to a personal person who's branding themselves. And then I look into my brain to find the most creative solution to help them create profit, I suppose, and create emotional connections with their customers. And that creativity, A, it's problem solving, technical problem solving. Then B, it's creative problem solving. Like, how should it look, feel? How should we talk about it? How will you be perceived? I've got to think from a customer point of view. Okay, what would it look like and feel like to be talked to like this? And then step back into the shoes of the client and go, okay, well, this is how you should talk. And this is the most authentic way to present yourself. It's like just a constant creative energy. My constant personal creative energy is being spewed out into my job for others to kind of benefit. And so I know that pushing myself in my job will create these phases of burnout where I just feel flat, which is what this is about. That's why I'm flat. Oh my God, I'm burnt out. No, I already knew that. But so I don't know. Is it like that in other jobs? If you are a financier, as the finance guy at my work would say, are you intrinsically or innately a finance person? Like, is that a part of your personality, or is it just a skill set that you're good at? That is, I need to know. Let's Google it. Okay. We're jumping on the Google. Let's just leave it at that, hey? Okay, so how do creative burnouts differ from other industries or professions, I should have written? Creative burnout differs from burnout in other careers because it depletes a professional's core imaginative resource and sense of identity. This is exactly what I've been telling myself. Oh, thanks for confirming. All right, that's the end. No, I'm kidding. Let's keep reading. While standard workplace burnout often stems from systematic exhaustion or overwork, creative burnout is uniquely tied to the emotional toll of constant vulnerability and subjective critique. I mean, subjective critique. Not so much for me, to be honest. Critique the crap out of it. In fact, I invite all my clients to critique the crap out of it because essentially what we're trying to achieve is their happiness, Well, I mean, a goal above that is whatever the goal is that they came to me for. More ROI, more trust, stronger relationships with their clients, whatever. But essentially, at the end of the day, the client has to be happy with it. So I love it. Critique the crap out of it. Pull it apart. Let's go again until they're happy. And see, that's where my burnout stems from, is that the repetitive process of going over it and over it and over it, and exploring all creative avenues to get this final result. So key distinctions include the self as a product. In creative fields, the work is deeply personal. Yeah, I would say so, because it is, my creativity almost isn't a skill. It's a personality trait. I'm like literally putting myself onto the plate. When creative professionals experience creative burnout in design industry news, which is a link, the feeling of failure or rejection can be internalized or as a part of a personal flaw rather than just a professional setback. I don't know, man. This doesn't apply for me. Really doesn't. Subjective to critique, the always on pressure. The creative process doesn't end at 5 p.m. Creatives often report the causes of creative exhaustion trap due to the blurry lines between work and life, as inspiration is often demanded on schedule. Now that is it. Because as I was saying, creativity kind of embodies all of me, it doesn't fucking stop. 5 p.m. comes around, sure. Bye, Felicia. But then I'm looking at creative inspirations, and whether it's for work or for life, it's just something that I really enjoy doing, or I'm reading creative stories, or I'm painting, or, the mind doesn't fucking stop as much as I would like it to, just temporarily. The creative mind is always on. And then loss of creative flow. So burnout in other fields might mean reduced efficiency, but for creatives, it blocks the state of extreme mental engagement and problem solving, resulting in an intense inability to generate new ideas. See, these last two, bang on. That's right. I'm always on. It doesn't stop. And because I'm always on, eventually it just runs out. I just go, bleh. I just draw blanks, and then I'm fucking totally cooked. So that is interesting. That is interesting. Okay, well, none of that was fact-checked or peer-reviewed. That was just a straight-up Google search. Google AI, a large language model, just regurgitating whatever it knows or whatever it finds on the internet back to me. But you know what? I fucking like it because it basically represents everything that I'm experiencing now, and that's all I needed. Some confirmation bias, bitches. That's what I need. But, I can figure all this out on my own. Google is just a fun way to tap into what I already know, and I don't know, maybe learn a little bit more. Sometimes I'll sit on the Google for hours and really get deep into rabbit holes, but not today because guess what? I'm feeling flat. So yeah, that's that. I mean, this episode is really about being flat and burnout, I guess. I'm sorry if you're not necessarily a creative and it doesn't apply to you, but I'm sure some sort of creative in your area is experiencing burnout. Please call this number, 1-800-CREATIVE-BURNOUT. No. What? I'm sure that you experience burnout in your own special way too. And, it might be the same. You might not switch off either. Or your ass is getting rammed by your boss and your boss is a dickhead. Both are still valid. So yeah, there you go. Feeling flat. What to do about it? I'm certainly not a therapist and I'm not a doctor. What I do about it, though, is kind of try and look after myself. It's weird, though, because when I feel burnt out, I'm more likely to go out and have a big night out, or I'm more likely to order a pizza, and not a good pizza, like a shit pizza, like Domino's. Don't fucking tell anyone that. Okay, I might have had Domino's last night. Shh. I mean, it's still good, right? $10 pizza, whatever. The reason is because I used to work at Domino's as my first job. So it's always, it's always held a little part of my heart. But yes, even though I do have blowouts like that, I do try and take care of myself a bit better. So I'm generally in bed by 9:30. I will switch off my device, switch off the TV, and try and get a good 8 hours sleep. Actually, who am I fucking kidding? I always get 8 hours sleep. I'll try and get a good 9 hours sleep. And then, I'm making sure I'm going for walks, drinking like buttloads of water. I think I've drunk so much that it's flooded my body. I think you can drink too much water, actually. Don't drink too much water. But, do all the things that all the fucking gurus tell you to do and just wait for it to blow over. So, yeah, that's not advice. Look it up for yourself. That's just what I do. I mean, it's pretty basic and simple. I don't cover myself in freaking organic cherry syrup and run around and get stung by a million bees and let them suck the creativity out of me. More so. Well, yeah, maybe that's what fucking did happen. I don't let them suck the exhaustion out of me. But yeah, that's that. I think that I have rambled enough about how I feel flat today. I think there is time for one last thing, and that is life hacks from the internet. All right, it's the time we've all been waiting for. It's what we came here for, don't lie. It's internet advice, because what could possibly go wrong? Number 1, when you want to annoy someone at work, address their job title in air quotes. Solid. Number 2, always take the stairs because someone might have farted in the elevator. I mean, it's fucking gross, but it's accurate. Number 3, only trust people who like big butts because they cannot lie. Okay, that's it. Goodbye. See you next week. If you're loving our weekly chit-chat, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell so we can get this podcast pumping. Also visit our website at okwhatpodcast.com.